If you think survival bunkers are just for paranoid preppers with a stash of canned beans, think again. Today, the richest people in the world are building fortresses beneath their feet. And they're not made of cinder blocks in someone's backyard. We're talking underground palaces, complete with theaters, swimming pools, hydroponic farms, and blast doors that look like they belong in a science fiction movie. And while these bunkers are marketed as emergency shelters, they're also status symbols. Like a super yacht you can live in underground when the world above falls apart. The luxury bunker boom. Over the last decade, a quiet but booming industry has emerged, survival real estate for the ultra-wealthy. Companies like Vivos, Opidum, and Survival Condo Project cater to clients who can write a check with more zeros than most of us will ever see. These aren't the cramped, cold metal rooms you might imagine. Think marble countertops, private gyms, spa rooms, and wine cellars. Many are designed to sustain life for years without resupply, with air filtration systems to block everything from radioactive fallout to biological agents. Why the sudden interest? It's a mix of things: climate change, pandemics, political instability, nuclear saber rattling. The global elite are reading the same headlines we are. They're just responding with multi-million-dollar insurance policies under their own backyards. Who buys these bunkers? The clientele falls into three main groups: tech titans, Silicon Valley billionaires who made fortunes in software, social media, and e-commerce. Many have a prepper streak, but they're not stockpiling ammo in a cabin. They're investing in underground smart homes with biometric locks. Finance moguls, hedge fund managers, bankers, and investors who see bunkers as both safety and asset diversification. For them, a luxury shelter is another part of a balanced portfolio. Political elites and celebrities, high-profile figures who worry about targeted threats, from political unrest to kidnapping attempts. Privacy and secrecy are as important to them as physical security. These aren't people who will be stacking firewood and purifying creek water. They expect and can pay for full-service survival, the marketing of fear. The companies selling these bunkers know exactly how to push their product: urgency. Their brochures don't talk about if disaster strikes. They talk about when. They point to real-world examples: nuclear close calls during tense military standoffs, economic collapses that bring chaos to the streets, extreme weather events displacing millions. The message is simple: when it happens, will you be above ground or safe with us? It's a clever pitch. After all, billionaires didn't get where they are by ignoring risk. And these companies make it clear: a bunker isn't paranoia, it's strategic survival planning, secrecy and exclusivity. One thing you'll notice quickly: you can't just Google luxury bunker and get an address to tour. The process is highly secretive. Clients are vetted, contracts are confidential, and locations are hidden from everyone, except those who've bought in. In some cases, even the construction crews don't know exactly where they are. Contractors are flown in, work on a section, and leave without seeing the whole site. It's a system designed to keep the elite safe not just from global threats, but from the possibility of angry crowds showing up when things go bad. The price of admission. If you're curious, here's the reality check. Entry-level luxury bunkers start in the low millions. A private unit in a converted underground missile silo can run $3 to $5 million, while sprawling custom complexes can easily top $20 million. Annual maintenance, keeping systems running, rotating supplies and staffing, can add hundreds of thousands more. And that's before you factor in the personal security teams, medical staff, and even private chefs some owners employ. For the average person, it's as out of reach as owning an island. And that's where the ethical question begins. When disaster strikes, will these bunkers become lifeboats for the few, while the rest of us face the storm above? When you think of a survival bunker, you might picture something from an old Cold War documentary. Concrete walls, metal bunks, maybe a stockpile of canned goods. But the high-end bunkers of today are far from that image. They're feats of modern engineering, built to withstand not just physical threats, but the psychological and social challenges of living underground for months or even years. The engineering of luxury survival. A billionaire bunker isn't just a hole in the ground. It's an underground ecosystem. Every inch is designed for both security and comfort. Blast doors, often weighing several tons, capable of sealing in seconds, and resistant to high-pressure shock waves. Air filtration systems, multi-stage filters capable of scrubbing out nuclear fallout, chemical agents, and airborne pathogens. Water systems, deep wells, reverse osmosis filtration, and large-scale storage tanks to keep water flowing indefinitely. Food production, hydroponic farms, aquaponic fish tanks, and climate-controlled storage for long-term supplies. Energy independence, diesel generators, battery banks, and increasingly, advanced solar arrays built to operate underground. Some bunkers even incorporate psychological design features, simulated windows with changing daylight scenes, sound systems that mimic natural environments, and color schemes meant to reduce claustrophobia. Networks and nodes. Many of these facilities aren't isolated. Certain projects, like the Vivos network, have bunkers in multiple countries, connected by private aircraft access and even secure underground transportation for elite members. The idea is simple: redundancy. If one location becomes compromised, whether through attack, environmental disaster, or political instability, members can move to another site. In practice, this creates a global web of lifeboats for those who can afford the ticket, while the rest of the world is left on the sinking ship. The vetting process. Getting into one of these facilities isn't just about having the money, though that's the first requirement. There's also an intense vetting process. Here's what's often considered: financial commitment, upfront purchase or membership fee, plus ongoing operational costs. Privacy and discretion. Clients must agree to strict confidentiality with legal penalties for leaks. Skill value. Some communities prefer residents with useful skills: doctors, engineers, security experts. Even billionaires may need to bring something to the table. Compatibility, social fit matters. Living underground in close quarters means screening out anyone likely to cause conflict. Who gets left out? Even among the wealthy. Here's the uncomfortable truth: not every rich person gets a guaranteed seat. The most exclusive bunkers have limited space, and when you're building for long-term survival, that means making hard choices. Factors that might get someone excluded: high-maintenance personalities. If you can't live without constant luxury or control, you might be more liability than asset. Health concerns. Some facilities quietly avoid admitting people with chronic conditions requiring extensive care. Reputation risks. High-profile figures with public scandals may be considered security or cohesion threats. It's a harsh reality. Survival planning is cold math. Every cubic foot of space and every calorie of food must be justified. The silent contracts. Most luxury bunker owners have agreements in place that go far beyond a simple property title. These contracts cover entry protocols, how fast you can arrive once the trigger event happens, guest policies, whether you can bring family, staff, or security teams, termination clauses, the right of the operators to deny entry if you violate the rules, even if the world is ending. And here's where it gets darker. Those rules are usually final. Once the doors close, they stay closed. Even if someone shows up with cash in hand or a famous last name, it won't matter. When the world outside is turned chaotic, whether from nuclear war, pandemic, or climate disaster, the blast doors shut, the locks engage, and life in the bunker begins. From the outside, it sounds like safety. Inside, it's a delicate, high-pressure social experiment. The first hours underground. The first phase is adrenaline and relief. Everyone made it in, the systems are working, and the chaos above feels far away. The operators do a full systems check. Air circulation, water pumps, food supplies, and security protocols. In many luxury bunkers, this stage is carefully choreographed. Welcome briefings are given, living quarters are assigned, and residents are introduced to the daily routine. Even here, control is everything. From the temperature of the air to the schedule for exercise and meals. The social hierarchy. Money got them through the door, but inside, a new kind of social order begins to emerge. Skill holders rise. Doctors, engineers, and those with critical knowledge often find themselves in leadership or advisory roles, even if they weren't the wealthiest in the room. Influencers fade. Social status from the surface world can diminish fast if it doesn't translate to survival value underground. Security holds power. The private security teams, whether hired by individuals or the facility, become both protectors and gatekeepers. Their loyalty is currency. Over time, alliances form. Small cliques gather over shared meals or exercise routines. In the background, subtle rivalries simmer, because even in the most luxurious survival shelter, humans are still humans. Psychological strain. The biggest challenge isn't resources, it's the mind. Claustrophobia. Even with simulated windows and fake daylight cycles, people can feel trapped. Boredom and restlessness. Luxury entertainment helps, but monotony sets in fast. Paranoia. Without outside news, rumors can spread quickly. And in an enclosed space, tension multiplies. Facilities often bring in mental health professionals or rotate leadership responsibilities to reduce friction. But in long-term stays, even the most prepared communities can fray. L'estourdi, the world above. While life continues in this controlled, high-tech cocoon, the outside world is reshaped. Without access to real-time global information, those inside rely on filtered updates from satellite feeds or encrypted communications. This creates a strange dynamic. Those below ground often don't know the full scale of what's happening. Those above, the billions left out, might see these bunkers as symbols of inequality if they survive at all. The biggest unspoken truth: for every person inside, there may be dozens, even hundreds of friends, relatives, or colleagues left behind. That knowledge is heavy, even for those who paid millions to survive. The closed-door reality. Once sealed, bunkers are designed to stay closed until the threat has passed, which could be weeks, months, or even years. The decision to reopen is one of the most dangerous moments. If the outside isn't safe yet, stepping out could be fatal. And when the doors finally do open, the question becomes, are they stepping into a salvageable world? Or is this the first day of starting over entirely? For the rich, a bunker is supposed to be a ticket to survival, but survival is not the same as living. As who gets left out? The harshest part of the bunker reality is what it says about everyone not inside. The vast majority of the population, ordinary people, skilled workers, even moderately wealthy families, simply don't have access. When the doors shut, there's no appeal, no negotiation. And when those left out face disaster, they face it alone. The bunkers of the rich are built to keep their owners alive, but they also serve as a mirror reflecting the deepest divide in human history. Who gets to see the next chapter of the world and who doesn't? If you want to go deeper on this topic, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications.